We've found out where the knife came from, sir.
Where?
It's not African at all.
I can see that souvenir stuff.
Yes, sir. Made in France. They're not imported this side of the border, only in Senegal.
And the building? Whose was that?
Pearson, sir.
We might have known it, mightn't we?
Yes, well, I wouldn't be surprised if he owned the whole of that block. I sometimes get the feeling our friend Pearson owns the whole colony.
Diamonds. Must be, mustn't it? Where did the sack of groundnuts come from?
Oh, Dr. Schneider's place, as a matter of fact, the hospital.
Schneider?
Yes, sir. It was a shipment of produce from his settlement farm.
Schneider's place? Very conveniently situated near the river, and only a few miles from the border.
Oh, you mean the hospital could be a sort of staging post?
Well, it would work, wouldn't it? I don't get quite so much information now that the French have left, but I don't imagine that the old diamond fields just over the border have been entirely worked out yet. And the river's a ready-made route all the way down to Gondra.
A bit staggering if our local saint turns out to have been sheltering a nest of smugglers without knowing it.
Funnier still if he has been and knows it. We'll pay him a little visit.
And Pearson?
He's on the list right now.
Need me, sir?
No.
What brings you here? To buy something?
No, just paying a little visit.
What's on your mind?
One of my men's been stabbed.
So what?
On your property.
Now listen, Sanders. What are you getting at? I don't know anything about it. Why should I?
You know most things that go on in this town.
Well, what happened anyway?
A sack of groundnuts burst open on the docks. Something fell out.
What?
I don't know, I wasn't there. An African grabbed whatever it was and cleared off.
Who was he?
That's what I thought you might tell me.
You don't say.
Yes, I do say. Two of my men followed him, but he gave them the slip. One of them caught up with him. My chap was stabbed in a doorway and killed. A doorway on your property.
So, of course, that makes me know everything about it.
He escaped. He was heading this way.
Ah, stow it, Sanders. Because a guy gets stabbed on my property, why should I know anything about it? You get stabbed any place, you can still be on my property. I own quite a lot of this town, you know.
Plus a trading post upriver at Fudaba.
Well, if you know so flaming much, what do you come here and ask damn fool questions for?
I came here to warn you, Pearson. I've got a pretty good idea what's going on around here, and I'm going to find the man that did that stabbing.
Well, you won't find him here.
Maybe not. But you just watch your step.
I'll make a note of it.
You do that. Now for Dr. Schneider.
Sir?
I want the Zare ready to go upriver first thing tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
Hamilton, do you ever read any of the memos we have sent to us? I just wondered. Because if you do, you'd have read the one that we had from the World Health Organization 3 days ago. And you'd know that you're supposed to be at the airfield in exactly 7 minutes.
Me, sir? Why, sir?
Now to meet Dr. Young.
Oh. Who, sir?
Dr. Young. He's arriving on this flight. We're supposed to meet him.
We, sir. Oh, I see what you mean. Well, I'd better get along there, then.
Yeah, you had.
If you say so, sir, but I'm sure I don't remember.
We'd better make a bit of a fuss of him. He's going upriver to join Dr. Schneider at the settlement.
Right, sir.
Ask him if he'll join me at the King George at 7:30 for dinner.
Yes, sir.
Come along yourself.
Oh, thank you, sir.
transit passengers assemble in the transit lounge straight ahead, please. Passengers for Gondra should await their baggage in the customs area after clearing with the immigration officer. Will you please have your passports ready?
Excited at your first sight of Africa?
Well, it isn't exactly my first sight. I woke up just as we were crossing the coast.
Dr. Young.
Yes?
Good Lord.
I'm Dr. Young.
Are you really? Good Lord. They didn't tell me you were going to be a girl. I mean, not that you're going to be a girl. Of course you are a girl, aren't you? You see what I mean? Oh, well, it's turned out rather well, hasn't it?
You seem very pleased to see me.
Oh, I am. As a matter of fact, I am. The point is, of course, we don't see very many attractive girls here, and, well, one has to get off the mark rather smartly. What with the heat and everything. Yes, well, I'll just impress you with the speed I can get you through the formalities.
I'm impressed already.
Oh, are you really? Splendid. That and that, please. Thank you. By the way, Doctor, I wonder if you could have a look at my back sometime. Professionally, of course. I keep getting a most terrible twinge just about there. I'm sure a very long examination. Where you're going, there'll be a lot of rhino, stainers out there, actually. Our main problem. Yes, I can tell you, Gondra's quite a problem for me.
Evening, Todd.
Sir.
You must tell me all about it sometime.
Yes.
I thought you were supposed to be bringing Dr. Young with you.
Well, I was, sir. That is, I have. This is Dr. Young, sir.
Lord.
Why does everyone say good Lord as soon as they see a woman in Africa?
Oh, yes. Miss Dr. Young, Commissioner Sanders. Dr. Young.
Thank you, Tom. You did that very nicely. A little late, but very nicely.
Oh, really?
Perhaps you'd like to get Dr. Young another drink.
Yes, sir. Shall I call a waiter, sir?
Might be quicker if you went yourself, don't you?
Yes, sir. Excuse me.
Poor Tom. He has been entertaining me charmingly.
Yes, I noticed. He had the field all to himself. You know, this is marvelous. I thought we were going to have to spend the whole evening entertaining some dreary old doctor.
I am a doctor, Mr. Sanders.
You know what I mean?
From what Tom tells me, you don't get much time entertaining here in Gondra.
Well, we do work pretty hard.
Is that what you are doing right now?
I don't know. Am I?
Here we are. I bought one all round last I was about it. Saved me running backwards and forwards.
Cheers.
Cheers.
When do you plan to go upriver, Dr. Young?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I thought there weren't any steamers for another couple of days or so.
Oh, well, Mr. Hamilton, Tom said the police boat, the Sejam, is it, was going upriver tomorrow, and he was kind enough to offer me a lift.
Oh, really?
Well, subject to your approval, of course, sir.
Is it? Well, that's very nice of you, Tom.
Yes.
I would like to reach Dr. Schneider as soon as possible, but if it isn't convenient, then I'd
No,
just...
no, of course you must go up to the Sejam. I'd have offered it myself anyway. If I'd had the time.
Oh, jolly good, sir.
Dr. Young.
Oh, hello.
Oh, excuse me, I'm interrupting.
No. This is Mr. Sanders, Mr. Hunter. We met on the plane.
Good evening.
And this is Mr. Hamilton.
How are you? Oh, this is an old friend of mine. We haven't seen each other in years. Jack Pearson.
Yes, we know, Mr. Pearson.
Everybody knows me in Gondra, Dr. Young. Glad to meet you. Could use a pretty face round here.
Is this a business trip, Mr. Hunter?
Well, it all depends. I'm hoping to do a story on Dr. Schneider. Whether or not he'll let me do it, of course, is another matter.
I expect you.
What I came over to ask you was whether you'd arranged your trip upriver. Mr. Pearson has to go up on business tomorrow. He's taking his launch, invited me along. I wondered if you'd like to come, too.
This is very kind of you, but Mr. Sanders has offered me a lift in his boat, the Sejam. It's also going upriver tomorrow.
Is that so? Anything to do with our conversation this morning, Mr. Sanders?
Let's just say routine.
Well, I'll see you upriver sometime, Miss Doctor. Coming, Jim?
Goodbye, Dr. Young. See you around.
Goodbye. Mr. Pearson seems to be a rather strong personality.
That's one way of putting it.
If I were you, Dr. Young, that is, I wouldn't have too much to do with that chap. He's not what we call a savory type.
What business is he in?
Might be easier to ask what business isn't he in. He owns ships, stores, property. In fact, there isn't much that goes on in Gondra that he's not mixed up with.
He doesn't seem to like you, Mr. Sanders.
It's mutual, I can assure you.
What time are we leaving in the morning, sir?
Well, now, Tom, since you have so many problems running Gondra, I thought I might take the Zare upriver on my own.
Oh, might you, sir?
And since you probably want to get to bed early, to be ready for a long day's work tomorrow, Dr. Young and I are going to have dinner.
Oh, I see, sir.
Shall we eat?
All right.
Well, goodbye then.
There's been some silting up here, Lamopa.
Yes, sir.
Oh, aren't they horrible?
Well, they're in the scheme of things.
How?
Keeping a balance. They live mostly off the larger fish, and they in turn live off the smaller ones. So no crocs, exit all the lot.
What do they live on?
Vegetation. They usually shear off if you chase them, but they have been known to turn round and overturn a boat. Then the crocs stop eating fish.
Your job means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
What will you do when the colony becomes independent?
Oh, I'll probably stay here as long as they want me to. I can't see myself in a city job.
I shouldn't think you could.
Get her back to the bank. Use the boat hooks.
Have you found out what the trouble is?
Oh, we've got a pretty good idea what it is. The mopo's stripping the engine down now. I'm afraid it's going to be staying the night here, though.
Oh, well, can't be helped.
Oh, don't worry, we've got tents we can camp on the shore. I'm sorry about this.
Doesn't matter.
Benji, let's get the tents out and get some food going.
This is wonderful.
Glad you're happy. This is not too small.
How long have you been in Africa?
10 years.
You love it, don't you? Why did you never marry? Because you didn't want to be a woman out here?
found a woman that I wanted to bring out here. Besides, not every woman will fit in with this.
Thank you.
And you? Why did you come out?
I never found anyone to hold me back. And like you, I love my job. When I got the chance to work for Dr. Schneider, I just jumped at it. It's a real challenge. I didn't know if I was going to like it here in Africa. But I think I'm going to. Very much.
Sir. You're right, sir. Somebody did unscrew that case.
To fix it. Looks as though somebody wanted to delay us. It was building up. Okay, then. Well, now we know the cause of the trouble.
Serious?
No, it's just a delay. We can make an early start in the morning. Hello, Samson. How are you?
Oh, hello, Mr. Sanders. We didn't expect so many visitors today.
Hello, Marina. Inga, this is Nurse Dorfman. Marina, this is Dr. Jung.
How do you do?
You've had other visitors today?
Yes, Mr. Pearson stopped up early this morning. He had an American with him, but they've both gone out to Budaba.
Is Franz about?
Yes, I take it to him.
Franz Weiss is the administrator here. Actually, runs the place. You probably knew that anyway.
Yes, I've heard so. Mr. Sanders is here.
Thank you, Mother. Hello, Commissioner. Franz. And you are... No, you can't be Dr. Jung.
I can.
Well. I was expecting a woman, Doctor, but so attractive a woman. Dr. Stubbley. I'm very pleased to meet you.
Thank you.
Well, first, let's get your things into the bag. We can talk later. Marlene, will you look after Dr. Jung?
Of course.
How's Dr. Schneider?
Oh, well.
He's ill?
Well, he doesn't look it, but I'm afraid he's a very sick man. Anyway, come and see for yourself. I've brought a friend to see you.
Harry, how very nice.
How are you, old man?
Dying.
Oh, nonsense.
I'm a doctor, you know, Harry.
Sanders brought our new doctor, Dr. Young. She turns out to be very beautiful.
Oh, where is she?
Marlene went to show her bungalow.
And what else brought you here, Harry?
Maybe to return some lost property. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes, I seem to remember the design of the handle. Ah, yes, I remember now. It belongs to a man called Bongola. He used to work on the plantation here. One of the temporary workers from across the border.
Did he have anything to do with sacking up the crop, the groundnuts?
That's what we took him on for. He was very strong.
Why should he show you the knife? If he didn't.
I happened to notice it once when he was sacking up. He just told me that he bought it in Senegal. Has he done anything wrong?
Only a murder, that's all. Do you know where this man Bongola came from, where he lived?
Fudaba, like the other plantation workers here.
In Gala's village, up the river.
Now you're going on then?
Yes, as quickly as possible. Look, my boat's not running too well. Do you mind if I borrow your Land Rover?
Of course.
Who did Bongola murder?
One of my men who was trying to arrest him.
What had he done?
That's what I aim to find out.
You're not the only visitor we've had this morning, by the way, Harry.
Yes, so I heard.
Pearson brought him along, a man called Hunter. He wants to write about the place and about me. And he was very persistent. So I told him he could stay for a few weeks.
Yeah, but he didn't. He went upriver with Pearson.
But Pearson is going to drop him off on his way back.
Well, it seems I'm not the only one that's interested in food harbor.
You're looking for Bongola?
Amongst other things. Well, I better get started.
What other things are you looking for, Mr. Sanders?
Do you know anything about diamonds, Doctor?
Diamonds?
That's what I'm looking for.
Sanders, do you mind if I come with you? I have to go to Fudava with our weekly medical supplies. Not you are taking the Land Rover, I'm...
Of course, come along.
Thank you very much. I get my stuff.
You're leaving already?
I have to go to Fudaba by land. I'm not going to risk the boat.
Oh,
Well, do you think you're going to like it here?
I hope so. It's too soon to say.
At least you shouldn't be lonely. Schneider tells me he's going to allow your pal Hunter to stay for a while.
Really?
Lucky chap.
Here we are.
Right. Going to Fudaba, Sergeant.
When will you be back?
Tomorrow, I hope. How are things at the hospital?
Well, as ever, we need new equipment.
And where does the money come from?
Well, you know, health organizations, charity, and then the plantation, of course. But when we need money really badly, Dr. Schneider always manages to produce it somehow.
You must have hidden resources.
Yeah. Ready to go now, sir.
Right. Drums. Coming from Fudaba. What are they saying, Lamopa?
Burial drums. Someone is dead.
A headman?
Can't tell, sir, but someone.
I don't understand all they are saying.
We may not be very welcome.
Maybe not, but let's go. I come at a time of grief in Garo. Do all honor to your dead.
What do you want, Mr. Sanders?
I'm looking for a man of your village.
Today? What man?
His name is Bongola.
Ha!
You'll have a hell of a time finding him, sport.
Since when has Mr. Pearson been a member of this village?
Just passing through, paying my respects.
And Mr. Hunter?
Just gathering a little local color.
Where is Bongola?
Crated up for the last journey. Whose funeral do you think it is?
Where did he die in Gallo?
At his brother's place, across the border.
You mean in Senegal, near the diamond fields?
Yes.
And the coffin was brought from there? Gallo, you have seen Bongola's body.
Do us a favor, Sanders. A stiff's a stiff.
I asked in Gallo.
Yes, it is Bongola.
Gallo, I want to have a look at the body. I want to have it identified.
Are you crazy? It's too late for that. They're right in the middle of the ritual.
That's impossible, Sanders. They wouldn't permit it for a moment.
Open it, Gallo.
Well, I hope you know what you're doing.
For heaven's sake, Sanders, leave well alone.
You want to end up with a spear in your back? I'm going. What about you?
Yes.
And you?
No, I'll stay.
Please yourself. The boat's waiting downriver if you want to lift back.
Well, Gallo. Right. Dust to dust already in Gallo. All right, you can break it up now. We'll talk about this another day.
Sanders, how did you know there was nobody?
I didn't for certain. What I do know is that it's part of the ritual in this tribe for a chief to see the body of each tribal member before he's buried. And a pretty good idea that Ngala was concealing something. Look, Franz.
Yeah?
I think I'll stay around here for a while. Might be a good idea if you do go back with Pearson.
All right. All right, I go down to his boat. See you at the settlement.
Right. What are they saying now, Lamobo?
They say the white men have left the village.
Lamobo, we're going back. Not all the way, but it's Bongola's village. I have an idea that he'll want to make sure that his own funeral went off all right. We'll take this side path and then wait on the track that leads from the border.
Yes, sir.
We'll leave her here, do the rest on foot.
we can do now is wait and see.
Is this the man you followed from the docks, Lamopo? The one who did the stabbing?
Yes, sir.
You're Bongola, aren't you? Well, you won't act dumb for long. You're under arrest for murder. Down, quick! He'll never answer any more questions. He can get on with his funeral now, properly.
Good morning. How long has this man been having treatment?
6 months, doctor.
6 months? He doesn't seem to be responding at all. Are there any ancillary complications?
No, doctor, nothing.
How many units have you been injecting?
1 million each injection, doctor.
Are there any other cases like this in the hospital?
No, doctor, only this man in the hospital.
With a steady treatment of 1 million units, he should make some response. Let me have his case history sometime this afternoon, will you?
Yes, doctor.
Oh, hello there, Doctor.
Hello. When did you arrive?
Early this morning. I've already seen Dr. Schneider. Pearson went on upriver.
I've just shown Mr. Hunter his room.
You know, I think I'm going to enjoy this trip a lot more than I anticipated.
Well, I trust you'll find all the material you need for your article.
Oh, I'm sure I will, Doctor. I'm sure I will. Come on, honey, let's go on with this tour.
Well, since I'm on my rounds, how are you this morning?
I've already asked myself the same question, and I found it a waste of valuable time.
What have you been doing?
Oh, I've been amusing myself looking at the hospital accounts.
I thought Franz looked after all that.
Oh, yes, he does. But from time to time, I like to see what's going on.
And what great decisions have you come to?
The same as usual. We'll need some more money. Well, that must be Sanders.
I better go and tidy up.
Thanks for the use of the Land Rover.
Pleasure. Any luck with what you stayed on for?
Oh, I'd hardly call it luck, though. We did find Bongola.
Oh, good. Did you arrest him?
He's dead.
Oh, come on. The coffin was empty.
And it's not any longer. Looks as though somebody decided to have a funeral first and then shoot him in the back afterwards.
You mean murdered?
That's right. Another one. By the way, were Pearson and Hunter with you all the time last night?
No, not exactly. Pearson had some business to do at a trading post in Fudava. He and Hunter went ashore. I stayed on board. But we didn't cast off until fairly late.
I see.
Oh, Hunter's staying here. Pearson's already on his way downriver.
Is he?
Do you want to see Dr. Schneider?
No, not really. I'll just go and look for Dr. Young.
All right. I have the Land Rover put away.
Right.
Welcome back.
Not for long, I'm afraid. How'd you get on with Dr. Schneider?
Oh, he's charming. Only he's a very sick man. You know, there's something in his condition which I just can't make out.
Well, is anything else the matter?
Well, it's probably that I'm just not used to the place. I've been here only one day.
Look, if you notice anything out of the ordinary, anything at all, let me know.
Yes.
And I hope your Mr. Hunter's kept busy with his writing. Hello, Mr. Hunter.
Good afternoon.
By the way, I gather that you got back to your boat quite late last night.
Yes, that's true. As a matter of fact, Pearson and I, we had a couple of drinks back at his store.
Was he with you all the time?
Well, that I couldn't tell you. See, we went through a couple of bottles of scotch, by which time I was kind of loaded. Something happened?
Yes, another killing.
I would have thought that was routine around here.
Not quite so routine as it appears to be in so-called civilization, I'm glad to say.
I'm sorry I can't help you. I wish I could. You ought to have a word with Pearson.
Yes, I intend to. Goodbye, Marlena.
Goodbye, Mrs. Sanders. I'll walk down to the boat with you.
Well, don't forget, anything out of the ordinary, let me know.
How do you mean, anything?
I'm a policeman, Inga. I like to know what's going on. Bye.
Goodbye. Shall I see you again?
Certainly. Even if you haven't anything to tell me about the settlement, there might be something you'd like me to know.
I was looking for you, Dr. Young. This is the case history on the patient you saw this morning.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Dr. Young? Stay where you are. Now step aside, quickly. You're quite safe now.
Tom, I want you to empty these two into separate tins. Mark this one coffin and this one settlement. Then send them off by air right away. I've written a covering letter to the laboratory.
Looks just like Earth to me, sir.
It's not surprising. It's exactly what it is.
Oh, I see, sir.
I know how you feel, Tom. To tell you the truth, I'm a bit puzzled myself.
Oh, are you, sir? Good.
I have a wild idea.
Anything to do with this earth, sir?
Obviously. As I told you yesterday, Tom, it's diamonds. It must be. And the whole thing starts with a sack of groundnuts from the Schneider plantation. One of our men gets stabbed. There's a phony funeral for his murderer, then he gets shot. And he used to work for Schneider. Coincidence? Not on your life.
Well, no, I'd hardly have thought so, sir.
I sent the bullet that killed Bongola to Central Office for a report. And whose name is it, apart from Schneider's, that runs all through this? Who was there at the phony funeral? Who was there upriver when Bongola was shot? And who have we suspected of being mixed up in every shady smuggling deal in this colony for the last 10 years?
The name is Pearson, sir.
Hamilton, you're psychic.
Now, this time you must want to buy something.
The only thing I'm in the market for, Pearson, is information. What were you doing up in Fudaba yesterday?
You saw. As far as I know, there's no law against anybody going to a funeral, even if it did turn out that nobody was dead.
But somebody is dead.
Who?
You were still in the district when he was shot.
When who was shot?
Bongola.
That's his news. I wonder why.
To stop him talking, obviously.
Talking about what?
Diamonds. They're coming in over the border and they're going out through Gondra. At least that's the way it appears on the surface. Someone has it organized.
Who?
Someone who knows how to get them out of here and over to Europe. Someone who's an expert in the export business.
Well, don't look at me.
Pearson, I'll have a hell of a job proving a smuggling charge against you.
Too flaming right.
But you mark my words, I'm going to do it.
Well, do
and
that,
I'm going to find out who killed Bongola.
Now, don't try and pin anything on me, Sanders. Don't do it. Or you'll find yourself taking that long trip back with no pension.
You want to start worrying about the long trip you're marked down to take. Also without a pension. With all expenses paid.
Well, the man is dead, sir.
What was his name, did you find out?
Yes, sir. His name was Ndele.
Where'd he come from?
Fudaba, sir.
That doesn't surprise me. Right. Who's that?
It's only me, Doctor. I saw the light on. Is anything wrong?
You gave me a start.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry. My heart is in good condition, even if the rest of me isn't.
I don't understand it. If only we could find out why you don't respond to the treatment.
If my body is no better, my spirits have improved enormously in the short time you've been here. In fact, it's because of you that I've been working so late tonight.
It is time you were asleep.
And tomorrow, I'm going to have some news for you. News that'll surprise you. And now it's you who must rest. Go to bed, my child.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night.
anyone saw me come here tonight.
So what if they did?
They might tell Franz.
What's he to you?
He was once. We made plans together.
Well, now you're making them with me.
Darling, when can we leave here? I never want to see this place again.
You're just gonna have to be a little patient. If my hunch is correct, but it won't take long, we'll be out of here with more money than you ever saw in your whole life.
What is this hunch of yours?
Never you mind.
There's light outside Dr. Snyder's bungalow. Wonder what he's doing this time of night.
Why don't you forget about him?
Thank you. And now, I'm going to make a little speech. There comes a time in every man's life when he must make his will. So, I have made my will. When I started this hospital settlement, the only money I had was my own, and in 2 or 3 years, that was gone. I have no bequests or fortunes to give away. The only thing I have is the clinic and the land surrounding it. I started the clinic for the people who we are here to serve. In a sense, it has always belonged to them. You, Franz, perhaps you thought that one day, when I die, you might occupy my place.
Dr. Schneider, the idea never entered my head.
No, Franz, it wouldn't have been wrong of you to think so. At one time, I did consider it. But finally, I've made up my mind. I've made over the rights, title, and possession forever in the entire property to the tribes who live within its boundaries. From whence it came, there it now returns. And as joint trustees, to ensure that my wishes are carried out, I appoint you, Franz, and you, my dear Inge. And I want you to see that the mail boy takes this to Gondra in the morning.
Yes.
Now, please, will you sign here, and you, Franz, and Mr. Hunter and Marlene will witness your signature.
Oh, sorry, sir, I didn't see you were busy.
I was just reading a letter from Dr. Young.
Oh, really, sir? Oh, how very jolly. Or at least I hope so. How is she?
The old man's made her a joint trustee in his will with France.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound very jolly.
Do you know he's leaving the entire place in trust to the local tribes? Oh, and she's just missed being bitten by a snake. France shot one and was just about to attack her.
Oh, well, good for France.
Anyway, what do you want?
Oh, yes, this has just come for you, sir.
Why didn't you say so before?
Well, you didn't really give me a chance, sir.
Ah, I was right.
Oh, well, you sir, jolly good. What about?
This is the geologist's report on those 2 samples of Earth.
Oh, yes, sir. Very interesting, sir.
I'll say it's interesting. The Earth in that coffin came from Senegal, near the diamond mines. And the Earth from Schneider's place is the same.
Oh, well, what do you get from that, sir?
Diamonds, Tom. The pipe runs right across the border into Schneider's territory. If I'm not greatly mistaken, the old boy's sitting on a diamond mine.
Good Lord, sir.
This isn't a case of border smuggling, Tom. Those diamonds are coming direct from Schneider's place, and those 2 killings are all part of it.
Sir?
The man Bongola. Speed up the report on the bullet that killed him.
What are you looking for?
Just looking.
What do you expect to find here?
You know you're a lovely girl, Marlena, but you ask far too many questions.
Who is responsible for issuing drugs from here, nurse?
Sister Marlene, Doctor.
Will you ask her to come and have a word with me, please?
Certainly, Doctor.
Is he?
Oh, Franz, I'm glad it's you.
What's the matter?
You know the patient I've been so worried about? Abdullah in Ward 2? The man who hasn't been responding to treatment, not even to the million unidose he's been getting.
What about him?
I think I've discovered the reason.
No.
You wanted me? Yes, Marlene. You've seen this before?
What is it?
Hostacycline, the injections that Abdullah has been getting for the past month. The label shows the contents in units of 1 million, but I find from the stock list that the serum is actually in units 1/10 of that. It's a wonder the man is still alive.
Marlene, what do you know about this?
Me? Thank goodness only one patient... No, wait a minute. Hostacycline? That's what Dr. Schneider's been getting. Now I understand.
Marlene, what have you been up to?
Hey, what's going on here?
He hurt me.
What are you pulling?
Take your hands off me.
Mr. Hunter. What's this all about, Franz?
Somebody's been trying to take your life, Doctor. The serum you've been using is 9/10 under strength.
I can't believe it. Who did this?
I reckon that's what you're going to have to find out.
Leave me alone.
Have you seen Mr. Hunter?
No, Marlene, I haven't.
What's the matter? Marlene? Jim, Mr. Hunter, he's dead.
Where?
Back there, down a kind of mine. Someone shot him. No, you mustn't go. Whoever killed him may have followed me.
We must send a message to Mr. Sanders. Where's the nearest telephone?
There's one at Tabueta, about 30 miles downstream. Let me go.
No, we'll send a nurse. And we must tell Dr. Schneider.
Please let me go. I can't stay here. I can't. I take the small boat. I can be there in 2 hours.
All right. But no one must see you go.
I'll paddle out and start the motor later.
Tell Mr. Sanders everything and ask him to come at once. Marlene. And when I say everything, I also mean the attempt to kill Dr. Schneider. What do you know about it? Who are you shielding? Who interfered with that serum?
I can't tell you, Inge. I can't.
You're frightened too.
Yes. I must go.
Someone's killed Mr. Hunter.
Report on the bullet that killed Bongola, sir.
This could clinch it.
We searched Pearson's place for the gun?
He's gone upriver to Toda.
Oh, well, we could still search his place, sir.
I'm well aware of that.
What's on your mind, sir?
Tom, this bullet could put a different complexion on the whole thing. It was fired from an obsolete Austrian automatic.
Oh, well, he could have one of those, surely.
He could, but he wouldn't. Should have thought of this before. And it all fits in with diamonds coming down from Schneider's place. No, Tom. Pearson's mixed up with all this, but he's not the killer.
Well, my dear, what are you up to?
Turn back, will you? Take me to Tapueda. I must get there quickly.
Why?
I got telephone, Mr. Sanders.
What for?
There have been a murder at the settlement.
Murder? Who?
Mr. Hunter.
Hunter? What's going on? Who killed him?
I don't know. I found him down a sort of mine.
What kind of mine was it?
I don't know.
I do. You don't know it, kiddo, but your pal Hunter been around. He used to be a mining engineer. He was chased out of Sierra Leone for illicit diamond buying. Knew a lot about diamonds, did Hunter? No wonder you were so interested in old Schneider's place.
You must take me to Tapueda to telephone Mr. Sanders, please.
Not bloody likely you're staying with me. Last person I want to see around here at this moment is Sanders.
Nurse Dorfman. Let's see what's wrong.
Ah, what brings you here, Mr. Pearson?
I understand you had some trouble.
Bad news travels fast.
And good news, too. Schneider, I'm not a man to beat about the bush. We've known each other a long time. In fact, we both came to Gondra the same year.
Yes, I think that's true.
All right, I'll admit it. You're a do-gooder, I'm not. That's why what I have to say should be of interest. Suppose I were to offer you enough money to build a brand new hospital downriver someplace. Modern buildings, the whole works.
And what would you want in exchange for this unexpected generosity?
I'll take this old wreck of a place off your hands.
Including the diamonds? I gather you know where Mr. Hunter was killed. In the diamond diggings. Diggings I haven't worked now for years.
You haven't?
I had enough diamonds put by for disposing of discreetly one by one. You see, Mr. Pearson, I'm not greedy. As long as there was enough money for our most urgent needs, I preferred the land to keep it secret and remain unspoiled. The secret is out now. And somebody, I find, has been stealing, working the diggings for himself. We've sent for Mr. Sanders.
So I understand.
How do you know?
As you said just now, news travels fast.
Oh, there you are, my dear. Mr. Pearson's just leaving us.
Not yet, he's not. I want to speak to Franz.
Franz is taking the Land Rover to Fudaba with a weekly medical supplies.
Is he?
Schneider might have died. You realize that, don't you, Marlena? What made you shield Franz? Because you were in love with him?
No.
You were once, weren't you?
Yes, I was. Then I found out what he was doing with the serum. He said he'd kill me if I ever told anyone. I was frightened, very frightened. He meant what he said, I know.
Well, judging by what I think he's done since, you're probably right.
In a hurry?
What are you doing here?
It's what I've done here.
What do you mean?
This sport is kaput. put it out of action. And Sanders will be here eventually. You killed Hunter, didn't you? He found the diggings you've been pilfering. And you've been kidding me, the diamonds you sent to Gondra were smuggled.
What are you after?
Angola found out, didn't he? That's why it was curtains for him, too. So that neat little disappearing trick I arranged for Darbo wasn't enough then.
What are you after?
50% of the diamonds you've obviously got tucked away on you. With that, I'll take you across the border in my boat. That's the only way you'll make it now. I'm in the clear. I'm not to know what you've been up to.
Franz? I'm sorry. Dr. Schneider thinks you ought to stay until Mr. Sanders arrives.
He's well on the way, if I'm not greatly mistaken. You're on your own now, Franz, and so am I.
When we get to the border.
You're lost, aren't you? Never get through the border.
Shut up and come.
Stay here.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Mr. Sands.
Bye, Marlena.
Thank you for everything.
We have a lot to thank you for. Good luck.
Goodbye, Amy.
Goodbye. And keep in touch.
May I?
I insist. Tom, Inga tells me she'd like to get back to Dr. Schneider at the hospital as soon as possible.
Sir?
So I thought we should take a look at that new post up at Fudaba.
Oh, I quite agree with you, sir.
Yeah, I hoped you would, Tom. That's why I'm going to take the Zare upriver again right away.
You know, sir, I've got a horrible feeling I'm not coming with you.
Tom, as I told you before, you're psychic.